What's up, YouTube? Welcome to today's video. And the last video I showed you the infinite damage thing for Hateforge, and today I'm going to show you what happens when I tested it out, because this is pretty much a limited time thing. I don't know if it's going to get fixed. Now, from my testing, and I did do a lot of testing yesterday, it does not crash the game servers. It will probably never crash the game servers because of the way the game does the calculations, I believe. But I tried it out a lot. At most, it might lag out your game and close your game, but the server will never crash. The instance will never crash. So there's no way that you could actually ever exploit this for item duping or whatever malicious intents you may have. For my intensive purposes, I just wanted to try it out. I wanted to make the best Uber bosser possible. Now here, you're watching Uber Elder. 6-man carry. I'm helping all of these poor souls still play the league by getting them their void stones. Now imagine this, nearly 2 months into the league, people still need their void stones. The best part about this, you can surf the web, you can do whatever you want. You can even showcase people how the build actually works. And it's great, right? This is a build that lasts throughout death, in the sense that Vaal Lightning Strike will be there forever. Best build ever, right? So I actually just kept going. So let's just see how much longer this takes. Holy moly. Well, it does take a while. Now, keep in mind, the gear's not min-maxed, so that's why it's taking a while. But eventually, the boss will die, right? Eventually. Maybe now. And so, and look at this. This guy, this brave soul came in. He's kiting all of the balls around. And let's see. He's a seismic boss, a level 75 guy. Is he going to kite the ball? Oh, man. He's still alive. And finally dead. And look at all those balls spread out again. But the boss is about to come to an end. And we killed it. All these people got their void stones. 6-man Uber Elder with bad gear outside of the Hateforge. Now you might be wondering, can you do all of the Uber bosses? And the answer is yes. You can go AFK as long as you have the VLS out. It can kill it all. Now look at this one. This is 92% more monster life, 80% elemental resistance, and this is a super hard one. Now I did put down a lot of VLS, and yeah, you can see the game is kind of laggy. It's like 7 FPS, but the game server is perfectly fine, and I don't think it's that bad. So right here, you can see I'm checking out more videos, just taking my sweet time with it. And I actually got this guy another Void Stone. Imagine that, right? The best Void Stone carry build in the world. I mean, it could take a while. However, you have to keep in mind, I'm pretty much using a 4-link in these videos, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So this is all on 4-link VLS damage. Now, next up, we have our favorite boss. Doing shit about it. And I did decide I'm going to go for a raving style of play, right? It's all about the MTXs. So you can actually attach a different MTX to each lightning strike when you put it down, so you can create the ultimate look, right? So this is the normal VLS, this is the Vulcan VLS, and this is the Myrmidon VLS. So if you spend money, you can make your own rave in the game. Now, part of the reason why I do this is I feel like I got bullied a lot in the past by these Uber bosses. These Uber bosses have just been picking on me. I've been doing it with no gear, and they've been killing me when I'm dead. They've been killing me when they're not even on the screen. I decided today was the day I take action and strike back against all of the Uber bosses and kill them all. Now, as you can see here, my character is dead again, and the VLS is going on. And the boss is dead. Uber Siri Exarch down. No ball phase or anything, right? Perfectly viable. And he's dead. Or he's dead. Or so you can see the build has a little bit of a DPS issue, purely because when I put the VLS down, it snapshots and I don't have Nightblade or anything else. So right there, no loot as usual. Who would have guessed? Now next up, we have this team right here, the Fear. Now the Fear, I wanted to do all release Fear, but I forgot to spec the node. But we rolled a pretty hard one. It was 211 quant, so it'd probably be 300% once you actually had taken the node. And I did try to put as much VLS down as possible. And this is a pretty small arena, so if you ever think the game server would crash, it'd probably be right here. And it was getting too laggy. I did try not to put too much stuff down once it was getting really laggy, because I didn't actually want it to crash. So here you can see the stuff is coming out pretty slowly, but they're all dying pretty fast, right? And it looks pretty cool. It looks like there's a lot of black stuff on the ground. So let's fast forward this a little bit. So Elder's coming out. Elder's getting owned. Shaper's coming out. So this is one of the best farmers you could possibly do. It's not as good as Warloop Infinite Damage build or 3.1 billion DPS Eye of Winter Mines, purely because it takes a longer to kill the boss. I'm not really sure how long it would actually take if you fully min-max the build out, because right now it's on a 4 link, like I said, and it's very unoptimized. Now, you might be wondering, can you do all the Uber bosses? And the answer is actually yes, except for one little thing. Cyrus. Now, Cyrus is an interesting case. Now, I was doing the boss, and Cyrus ran away from the arena. Like, I'm like searching for him. I'm like, where's Cyrus? Did he leave the arena? So Cyrus is a little baby back bitch. He was so afraid of VLS, infinite duration, he ran away from the arena. Now, you might be saying, is the fight bugged? Yeah, the fight is bugged. Go figure. This fight is one of the worst fights ever made. If you ever saw my last video, I think you can safely say Uber Cyrus is the worst designed boss fight in ARPG history. And this is right here, another instance where the fight is actually bugged. I'm actually searching for Cyrus. I'm looking for him everywhere. He's just not in the instance anymore. I'm typing / remaining. There's 4 monsters remaining. But where is he? Who knows, right? I mean, I'm just searching all around, and he's just nowhere to be found. It's just such a sad state that this boss actually defeated my build, because you can't really kill what's not there. So maybe he had enough of my shenanigans with the infinite VLS, and he decided, well, guess what? I'm just going to leave the arena. I'm going to go hide somewhere. And I checked everywhere, every single nook and cranny where he could be hidden. He's gone. I just don't know where he is. As you can see me, I did this for like 10 minutes, literally. Because if I do hit him, I should be getting some challenger charges, and you'll see my elusive go up. And at a certain point, I just be like, whatever, man. Who knows where he is? I give up. And Cyrus is actually kind of interesting. Cyrus is one of the bosses that actually does not take damage when you are dead. So you can say every single Uber boss is viable with this build except Cyrus, but then you can still kill Cyrus as long as you dodge a little bit. So Hateforge is back. I'm not really sure how long it's going to be back for after this video. I don't know if they'll fix it. I did think that they would immediately fix it purely because I thought it would crash game servers if you put down enough lightning strikes. But it seems like it doesn't really crash the game servers because the calculations are being done on your end. So it will crash your game, but not actually the server instance. So not really sure if they'll actually fix it purely because there's another build out there that pretty much abuses the same exact thing in terms of, what's it called? It abuses the same exact concept where if you have negative duration or, oh wait, that's just not right. PoE noob. So this thing right here, 0 charges. So this one right here is when you have negative charges, is considered maximum charges or infinite charges of your maximum charge. So you're able to discharge when you have no charges. They did confirm that this was probably not intended, but they aren't fixing it because they don't really want to nerf the build. I don't really know why, but a lot of people have been playing that build. I do know. So VLS might be available for a while. Who knows how long it will be available for. I know Hateforge now is around 200 divines. The build used to be super popular in Ultimatum League, but they nerfed Soul Catcher Flash. So today's video is kind of going to give you a little bit of a summary of how Hateforge works. Because a lot of people don't really know whether they haven't played the game back in Ultimatum League or they never played the build before. So the way it works is that you try to reduce your soul gain prevention duration all the way down to 0. So we see here, when we look at Vaal Lightning Strike, let's put in the gem here. So I was testing out a bunch of different skills, and it turns out that Vaal Lightning Strike is the only one that actually works correctly. And I did set up the character so you guys could all see it in his glory. So right here, you will see that we look at Vaal Lightning Strike, the soul gain prevention duration is 0 seconds. Now, the reason it's 0 seconds is because duration affects Vaal Lightning Strike, soul gain prevention. So if you read the gem right here, you can see down at that line, it says modifiers to skill effect duration applies to this skill's soul gain prevention. Now, that's pretty interesting. So before, you would be a Pathfinder, you would scale Flask effect, and this thing used to be 40% soul gain prevention. So even when you reach the 100% reduced soul gain prevention, this thing doesn't lower the duration of Lightning Strike. So your Lightning Strike will still have some duration. Now, the thing about it right now is that the Soul Catcher is only 10%. So it got a 30% nerf. Now, we're able to overcome this nowadays because the Kalandra amulet actually allows you to get 60% reduced Vaal skill effect duration. So if you actually look at this, there are a few amulets actually out right now. So negative 60, and there's one up for 25 divines. I did buy mine for 40 divines. It's kind of overpriced. I also have another one here that I made. And look at this one, right? 249 life, 60% reduced Vaal skill effect duration, plus 2 chaos gems, but minus 81 strength. So it's kind of hard to make it work. So I actually did the Calandra thing here, and it was kind of sad doing it. So this is my first time actually ever doing the reflection of Calandra, and I put it in. First time, 3 good, 3 bad, right? Nothing really too special, but at least it had the max life, so maybe I'll sell it one day. Not really sure what to do with it. So this is the thing, the magic where it happens, right? So you get a 60% reduced Vaal skill effect duration. So now, let's see what it is, right? So now, what Hateforge does is it makes sure attack skills cost rage instead of requiring souls. So usually when you want to use a Vaal skill, it will require souls, but now you will require rage. Now, this is an important distinction because that means that we don't need to kill mobs in order to cast our Vaal skills. Now, how do we actually get rage over and over again? There's an interesting concept. It's this belt right here. So if you read it right here, when you lose temporal chains, you gain maximum rage and immune to curses while you have at least 25 rage. So what needs to happen is that you need to go from 24 rage to 25 rage and lose the temporal chains, which is on yourself, and then you'll go back up to 50 rage. So this whole concept is going from 24 to 25 rage, and then it'll go to 50 rage, and then you can spam it. So right here, you can see you want to get your Vaal Lightning Strike to 26 rage, and the way that we actually get temporal chains on ourselves is that we use Rot Blood, and the reason we want to use this is because this makes it so that curses or orders from Socrates skills also affect you. Oh wait, that's actually getting kind of loud and annoying. I forgot that it lasts forever, so we need to make a new instance. So right here, you can see this temporal chains will be affecting us. So once we get the temporal chains, let me just do it in Blood Aqueducts real fast. So once we get the temporal chains, so you can see we have temporal chains, and if we take off this at the start of the map, we have 50 rage, and now we turn it on again, and here, every single time we attack, it'll go down to 24 rage, and then it goes up to 50 rage. Now we're able to get rage back because we also take Chainbreaker, which makes it so mana recovery from regeneration is not applied. So you get 1 rage regenerated for 25 mana regeneration per second. So you can see here for, where's the mana regen? So we're running Clarity right now. So we actually have a bit of a rage regen. So it will immediately tick back up to 25, and then we'll get to 50 rage. So we just keep repeating that. Now, Time Clasp is being used because it makes us unaffected by temporal chains so that we won't really have to worry about it. And it also has the reduced skill effect duration, which is extremely, extremely important. So now you might be wondering, how do we actually spam Vaal Lightning Strike and why does it last forever? So like yesterday, as I said, we can spam Vaal Lightning Strike is considered to have infinite duration if you reach negative value or 0. So you can see here in Path of Building, it says the duration mod on Vaal Lightning Strike is negative 0.04. So how does this actually work? The way it works is reduce is additive. So all you have to do is you have to add all of the reduced duration to 100%, and then you'll have 100% reduced duration, and it'll be at 0. So what this means is that we get 60% from the amulet that's enabled by Calandra, and then Time Class gives us 19 to 20%, and this makes it so it's at 79%. Then we get 25% from the tree. So we're already at negative 104%. So like I showed you, it was at 15, 5, 5, so 25 there, then 19 from this, and then 60% from that. And then we get 100% reduced duration. And as I said, when we have 0 duration, the game considers Vaal Lightning Strike to be infinite duration. It's an integer underflow error in the compiler or something, as people have told me. Now, the weird part about this is, does this actually apply to all skills? It actually doesn't, right? So we could showcase it real fast. Because yesterday I just said it, but it's a lot better to see it in action. So right here we have Vaal Summon Skeletons. So does that mean that Summon Skeletons will last forever? Well, not quite. So let's go kill some mobs for some souls.
Didn't even break a sweat.
Alright, so Vaal Summon Skeleton I think actually costs a lot of... Alright, so we can't actually use this yet. Alright, we almost have enough. Alright, so you can see here, Vaal Summon Skeletons, right? We will put it down, and let's see what actually happens to it. We put down the Vaal Summon Skeletons, and it starts summoning, but nothing actually comes out, and it consumes it. Now, it's the same thing for like Vaal Blade Vortex. So we have Vaal Blade Vortex over here. What happens when we cast Vaal Blade Vortex? it just instantly disappears. So it's kind of weird why Vaal Lightning Strike is the only thing that does this. So we put it so we have Vaal Cyclone, which is another one. Now, in order for this thing to work, it has to have a duration on the skill tag. So it has to be a attack skill with duration. So let's go charge up Vaal Cyclone. So let's try the Vaal Cyclone. So we casted it and nothing happened, right? So it's kind of an interesting interaction why this is the only skill that works. Now, in terms of what this skill actually looks like while mapping, we can showcase a little bit of a map real fast. And this is pretty much identical to how Vaal Lightning Strike Hateforge used to work. And it's a pretty fun mapping playstyle. My character is not optimized at all. So it would be a lot better if you actually invested into the character. As you can see here, I'm not even capped res. I'm -10. You look at my tree, it's a complete disaster. And I'm just taking resist nodes. So let's go see how it actually looks like. So you have to unclick temporal chains. And now we can just do it like this forever. Now, you might be wondering, how does this not crash the server when there's so many Vaal Lightning Strikes everywhere on the map? Well, once you run out of range of the skill, it actually stops rendering in the game. So once you're off screen, all those Lightning Strikes in the past will not actually be calculated or even rendered into the game until you get back there. So you could do this. So you can see here, the damage is pretty good. It's not like terrible, but this is how VLS Hateforge used to be like. So just a little bit of a demonstration. I don't even have Pierce on this build right now. So it could be a lot better. I don't even have Whirling Blades. Now, the weird part about this, it's actually really hard to use other skills because the Chainbreaker got nerfed in the sense that it actually gives you +3 rage. So if you actually use Whirling Blades or something, it will make it so that Whirling Blades costs 3 rage, which actually kind of breaks the build. And you actually can't even cast Withering Step on left click without making it really bad. So there's got to be some solutions that I will try to figure out if the build is actually not considered dead on Monday, which it might be. Now, as I said, I did not min-max the build. I just wanted to try it out in case it gets hotfixed, and I wanted to showcase some content and pretty much give a pretty detailed explanation about how Hateforge works. A lot of people always ask about, is Hateforge back? Is back in the game, but is there actually a build that can take advantage of it? And the answer is not really that well. Currently, Hateforge is a very niche item. You have to like do some Warcry shenanigans in order to get it to work with maybe like Vaal Ground Slam or something. And like I said, I tested it out with every other Vaal skill, and Lightning Strike is the only one that benefits. It's a pretty fun build. I can definitely see why people love Hateforge Vaal Lightning Strike on Pathfinder when it came out. And the number one thing is it's great for killing bosses when you are dead. So like I say, right, you can do any boss you want except what's it called? Except that one boss, Cyrus, the worst boss in the game. So let's go see how this looks, right? So if you want to do a boss, you pretty much just go here and then turn it. Oh shit. Oh. Oh no. Alright, so I messed up here. So you pretty much just put it down infinite amounts, and then eventually. Why is this guy so tanky? My build sucks.
I can't do this just yet.
Don't worry, he'll be dead soon. I actually wonder what's gonna happen. So entire arena is gonna fill up soon. Uh-oh. So it does get very laggy, but the server never really crashes. Uh-oh. What? I mean, shouldn't he be dead by now? This is definitely one of my most hated bosses. Oh my goodness. No, I can't move without a movement skill. Please let me get back. So you can see once you get off screen for all the Vaal Lightning Strikes, it's really not that laggy. Where is the thing? Okay. Well, you know how I said Cyrus was the worst boss? I think we have a new winner. I can't do it. I'm gonna die. Oh my goodness. It can't work. I give up. This is the end, folks. And that's how it ends. But you can see we can't really die because the Hateforge thing is still hitting the... Well, it is what it is, but that's just a little demonstration for how it is. It's great for killing bosses that don't have some cringe phase. But thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to see me min-max it and if you think they will nerf it tomorrow. But hope you find more Mirrors, Exalted Orbs, and Mage Bloods, and Divines, and Hateforges than me. And see you next time. Bye!